Democrats, for at least the last 2 decades, have been horrible when it comes to policies. Now, you could say that they've always been horrible, and we can go back to Clinton, and there were at least a handful of policies that he put into place that were half decent. I didn't necessarily support him, but he did have a pretty decent economy. Granted, it was during the dot-com boom, and Newt Gingrich and the House had something to do with it, but whatever. Point is that at least his policies, other than, he had some really bad ones, but they weren't like all just horrible. Then you get to Obama, and pretty much every single one of them was just disastrous and horrible. Don't even get me started on Obamacare or why Republicans couldn't repeal it, but that's a discussion for another day. Let's stick with what's relevant. The Biden-Harris regime. What policies have they had? Let's see. They had defund the police in the early days. That has not worked out very well, except technically speaking, you could say that it has worked out perfectly because crime is rampant now. Police forces are decimated. There are many ways they're scared to even do their jobs. Maybe that was the plan the whole time. What about the repealing reversing, I should say, all of Donald Trump's executive orders to protect the border? You could say that it hasn't worked, obviously, especially remain in Mexico. When he pulled that one, that really was a game changer. That pretty much gave us open borders, right? And you say that, well, their policies aren't working, except I would argue that, of course, they're working exactly the way the Democrats in the Uniparty swamp want them to work. What about the big one, Bidenomics? Obviously, that hasn't worked right. That was supposed to fix the economy, except maybe it has worked. Maybe tanking the economy was the plan the whole time. But now we fast forward, and for the past 3 weeks, Kamala Harris has been the nominee for the Democrats, and she has not put out a single policy proposal. Hold on. We've got breaking word. Wow, talk about perfect timing. She has just released her first policy recommendation. Let's see what it is.
And eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
That was not a fake deep fake AI thing. That was not a cheap fake, as Karine Jean-Pierre might say. That was actually Kamala Harris literally stealing a policy just because it's popular, stealing one of Donald Trump's policies. Folks, these guys, in general, the Uniparty swamp as a whole, the Democrat Party, to be more specific, but when we look very specifically at the Harris-Walz ticket, we're talking about a group here that has no clue. They have nothing. All they have are truly destructive policies that they can't utter because people are starting to wake up and realize that, hey, maybe it's not such a bad idea. Don't forget, there was a bunch of people that were all like, oh yeah, defund the police. Then it happens, like, oh my gosh, run away. Move out of the cities, quick, get out of California, get out of Minneapolis, get out of wherever. And that's what happened. So, the people are waking up and realizing that maybe if something doesn't sound like a good idea, it probably isn't. But maybe if something sounds like a good idea, it is, and even a Democrat can say it. So Kamala Harris, for her first official policy recommendation or promise, she's promising to do something that Trump has been promising to do for a while. I think that is the Democrat Party in a nutshell. Anything that they actually do, anything they actually propose that comes from their own hearts, their own minds, total failures. When they want to put out something that's going to be popular and would actually work, steal it from Trump. Rinse, repeat. Thank you for watching this clip. You can see the entire shows by subscribing to my Rumble channel over at jdrucker.com/rumble. That's jdrucker.com/rumble.